Hey everyone, welcome! I'm Kate with Self-Help Tarot. I hope you're having a great day so far today. I thought we could do a weekly energy reading for this week. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. Take a big deep breath. And on your out breath, open your eyes. And I want you to go ahead and tell me which crystal resonates with you the most. We have a rose quartz, a smoky quartz, and a citrine. So which one resonates the most? And I'll put the timestamps up now so that you know where to go for your particular reading. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with the rose quartz. Let me put these away. All right, I'm just going to move that over there. So we just want to know today kind of what is going to happen this week. What's the energy going to be like? What do we might need to know about this week? So we'll start with tarot. So what do we need to know about this week? What do we need to know about this week? I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay. Getting a little unruly over there, these decks. Okay. All right, we're going to pull 3 cards. Okay. This is beautiful. All right, so the star card came up, and this card is just so nice because, I mean, this particular card is so nice because, look, it's like these children are having fun, the mom is playing, the dog is playing. It's just really light and happy. Now, if you don't have kids, you're not a mom, that's not necessarily at all what this is about. This card is telling us that this week is going to have a lot of light to it, a lot of shining. Think about how stars shine. They're just so bright in the sky. So this card is just telling us about how brightly shining your week is going to be, right? And it is a major arcana card, which means that this week is just going to feel a little bit more important. You're going to feel maybe some lightness come over you. It's just going to feel really uplifted. And this card also kind of talks about, so if we look at the progression of how the deck, like the numbers, right, how the deck kind of lays itself out, this card is after some of the other really difficult cards in the deck. And so it's really telling us about how we've been through some hard times, but now we're ready to have fun, let loose, and shine, which is amazing. So that is so much fun. All right, this next one is the 7 of Cups, and it's upside down. So let's look at it upright for a minute. So if you look at this woman, she's kind of surrounded by all these other versions of herself, kind of telling her maybe what they think, what she should do, all that stuff. It was reversed. And so this week, it's going to be really good to spend some time quietly kind of manifesting, meditating, to kind of really think about what it is that you want. Which one of these are you wanting to follow? And to quiet all the other voices down. So really kind of spend some time internally, like I said, meditating, some quiet time to really figure out what it is that you want. Okay, and then the next card is the Strength card, which is another major arcana card. And this woman is running. She's feeling strong. She's feeling healed. The color orange is really about healing, especially alternative healings. And so I think, especially in combination with the Star card, we have 2 major arcana cards in this reading so far. And this card is really focusing on how strong you are, that you have such a strong resilience about you, and that you can do anything. Maybe it is going on a run, but maybe it's also choosing what you want so that we can continue to move forward. And like I said with this card, it's going to be kind of major this week. The shining bright is going to feel really good, and the strength that you're going to come with this week is going to feel really good. So far, this is awesome. This is going to be a really good week. All right, let's go ahead and talk to this deck for a minute. We're going to find out what it is that you should focus on. Should's maybe not the right word. What you could focus on. Because this week looks so good already, let's just see what else you could focus on to make sure that this is how the week turns out. Right? Because remember, the cards don't have power over you. You have power over your destiny. So let's find out what we could focus on. Okay, let's see. We've got, this says a new romantic cycle begins. How interesting. And so I think we talk about what to focus on. This is going to be about focusing on romance and love, and maybe it's specific to a person, but maybe it's also falling in love with something else. Like maybe it's about falling in love with your strength and how far you can push yourself and how strong you are, and falling in love with how light you are, how uplifted you are, how brightly shining you are. So it could be all of those things. And it could be specific to actually a romance. So just keep that in mind. That doesn't necessarily apply to everybody, right? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and ask the angels what they think about our week. So angels, what do you think we should know about our week? Okay. So we have an opportunity to forgive. So this card comes up when it's time to maybe forgive yourself or somebody else, and how important it is, and how also uplifting it is. We talk about how shining brightly, right? But in order to shine like the stars, we do have to kind of get rid of some of that mental stuff. And so let me read this card to you. Hopefully you can see it. There's glare. Okay, there we go. This situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. So, always ask for their help. The angels are always there to help us. And it's just a good opportunity for healing and growing and releasing negative patterns, which I think with these other cards, I think that is very fitting. Very fitting. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to the animals. It's such a big deck if I can pick it up with one hand. Okay. All right. Let's see. What do the animal spirits want us to know? What do the animal spirits want us to know? What do the animal spirits want us to know? Okay. So this is the moth spirit. This is such a cool card. I have to say, I did think quickly about the Mothman when that came up, but that's not what this is saying. But maybe, I guess. I don't know. It says surrender now. If you think about that movie, I don't know if you saw the movie, The Mothman, that was actually kind of about surrendering and kind of noticing the unseen, right? The stuff that kind of guides us, but we don't necessarily know is there. I don't know. Maybe that's my interpretation. But surrender now, right? Like follow, oh my gosh, listen to this too. Follow the light. Follow the light and surrender. To think about what moths do, they follow the light. They're always where the light is. And so that uplifts us. That lets us shine like the stars. So that's a great message. I love that. And this moth on here, isn't that beautiful? And all this red. This red is very grounding and passionate and fiery and strong. It's got a good foundation. So that's really good to know too. So surrender into your power and empower yourself to find that light. That's beautiful. I am loving that. Okay, and the last card I want to pull for you today for your week is just from this deck. And let's just ask, how do we focus on self-love this week? What can we do to remind us for our self-love? What can we do to remind us of self-love? Or what kind of action can we take? Let's see. All right. It says kindness. So I think this is really wanting to point out how kind you are and to remember your kindness. It says you are a humanitarian, made of love, and you're able to share that energy with others. And so finding that light, finding the strength, focusing on what you want to do in your life, or even just this week. Forgiving what needs to be forgiving what needs to be forgiven is what I meant to say, is really important, and having kindness. And this could be towards yourself. All of this could be towards yourself. Forgiving yourself, showing kindness to yourself. It's very important. Okay, cool. Well, it looks like you're going to have a really positive week. I'm really excited for you. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of this reading and if it resonates. And follow me on Instagram. I do daily tarot readings there. And I'd love to hear your feedback on those and anything else you need. So I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the Smokey Quartz group. This is a massive piece of Smokey Quartz. It's very grounding and lovely. All right, we'll put that over here to the side. And we're going to start with tarot. We're going to find out just kind of what's going on for you this week. What might be coming your way, what you might be dealing with, and we'll see what the cards tell us. So we're just going to shuffle a few times. Shuffle a few times. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle one more. Okay. All right, we're going to do 3 cards. Okay, I hesitated there because I usually cut the deck, and I didn't this time, and so I had to tune in to make sure that these are the right cards for you. So, looks like we're starting with the 8 of Chalices, which is just the 8 of Cups in other decks. And if you look at this card, this person here has got lots of stuff out in front of them. They've got these like fae or fairies kind of floating around them. And this card is really talking about like, what is it that I need to let go of? Because look at all this stuff in front of her. Like, that's a lot to kind of manage. And there's no way that this particular, there's no way we're going to be able to get it done, right? So there's something to let go of, something to drop, something to not prioritize this week. And it's time to walk away. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's about, finding your structure, your balance, which is where the red is coming from. All this blue is about emotion, so to kind of release that, kind of find your peace and calm in order to get on the path that you know you need to and deprioritize the stuff that you can say no to. So it's really important this week to be able to do that. The next card is it's the 6 of Pentacles, but it was reversed. And this card is really talking about like reminiscing, kind of finding joy, being able to find pleasure in your life. It was reversed. And so with that reversal, this is going to be about how do we tune into what we think internally. So what do I think about joy? How do I find joy within? So maybe that's going to be about meditating. Maybe it's going to be about journaling. Journaling is such a good tool. And maybe it's also thinking about the last time in your past that you did feel joyful. It hasn't been a very easy 6 months, right? And this joy from this card is, how do we find that joy within? How do we choose it? That is super important this week. How do we choose it? Okay, then the next card here is the Queen of Cups, which looks to me like this woman, she's kind of got her hand on her head, maybe not feeling so good. The Queen of Cups is really talking about, loving and emotions and healing emotions and having emotional maturity. But this person here looks like it's time to get some support. And I think that this card is really talking about this week. It might feel a little emotional at times, but really reach out. See who can support you. See, even the spiritual world wants to help, right? And let yourself feel your feelings. Nurture yourself in that way. That's really, really important. Okay, let's go ahead and find out what we can focus on, because we want to have a good week. And I do think that, there's going to be some boundary setting here, to me kind of coming back to some roots, something that we really appreciated and loved in the past that we want to bring into the joy of everyday now. And then feeling our feelings and asking for help. So what can we focus on that will help us have, I guess, a good week, right? I mean, that's always the goal, is try to have a good week. So what can we focus on? All right. And this says communication is key. Communication is key. So it's really important with this card, right? Because we're asking for help. We're communicating. We're asking maybe our loved ones or our friends or even a therapist for help, but we have to communicate those needs. So I think, really this card is telling us to focus on our communication in order to get our needs met. Okay, let's go ahead and ask the angels what they think. So angels, what do you think about this week? What do we need to know? What do we need to know this week, angels? Okay. So we've got, what do you desire? And this says, you now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. And this is so fitting because today that I'm shooting this is the 20th, which we have a new moon. This one is talking about really focusing in on is what it is you want, because this is too much. You've got too much going on. You got to set some boundaries. It's really focusing in on what you want, and it's going to come into your life, like this says, as if by magic. And so that's so powerful, and knowing that you have that power is really important this week, and really tuning in and asking yourself what it is you want. And I think that all of these cards, if you look at kind of the progression, so we're going to start with saying no to the stuff that doesn't serve us, that we don't want to do, that is too much. We're going to kind of think about when we have found joy in the past, feel our emotions, communicate what we need, and then really manifest in what we want. So that's really pretty cool. All right, so next we're going to ask the animal cards. Animal spirits, what do we need to know this week? What do we need to know this week? What is it that we need to know this week? We want to have a good week. Okay, so we've got the crow spirit, which says co-create with spirit. So crows are very spiritual, right? There's a lot of lore about crows and how connected to the spirit world they are. You know, there's been lore out there that says that they're shapeshifters, right? And this is talking about how do we co-create with spirit to get the life that we want, which goes exactly with this card, right? They are very much saying the same message. And I think just with all this progression, like I said, we can, if we release some emotions and let ourselves feel it, ask for help, then we can really get to what we want. We can really get to what we want. So that's exciting. It seems like this week with the new moon energy is going to be really fueling you to figure out what you need, what you want, and get yourself moving on that path, which is super exciting. And I also wanted to point out this big Smokey Quartz that you felt attracted to. You know, Smokey Quartz is a very grounding stone. It's one of the best for that, in my opinion. And I think the message with the Smokey Quartz too is the more grounded you can be, then the more all of this is going to come. So the more able you will be to ask for what you need, to say no, have boundaries, walk away from stuff that doesn't serve you, to find that joy within. It's all going to help. So the more grounded you can be this week, the better. All right, and then lastly, I want to ask, what can you focus on for self-love? What can you focus on for self-love? Okay, we'll go ahead and cut. All right, it says loyalty. Ooh, all this green, this beautiful green card. Green is so good. Green is all about, green is God's color, right? So that's about harmony and balance and spirit, and oh, it's so good. It says your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. So this week, really allow yourself to focus on what you're loyal to. Do you have loyalty towards yourself and being nice to yourself and really following through with what you desire, or not? And if that's a not, then it's time to find out how to become loyal to yourself. Okay? All right, you guys. Well, this is going to be a good week. I think it's going to be a healing week. And remember to ground as much as you can. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Please comment below so I know what you think and how it goes. That'd be awesome. Like and subscribe, of course. Follow me on Instagram, too. I do daily readings on Instagram, which is really fun. And, I hope to see you guys back. Okay, hope you take care. Okay, let's get started for the Citrine group. I love Citrine. It's such a good stone. All right, we're going to start with tarot, and we want to know just kind of what you can expect for this week, what might be happening, and anything that's going on. So, what is going to go on for you this week? What is the energy like this week? What is the energy like? Ooh, if I can pick up this deck. There we go. All right, sometimes the cards are so big. In order to shuffle, it's tricky. All right, what are we focusing on this week, or what is going to happen? Okay, looks like we're ready. We're going to go ahead and cut it. Okay, I'm going to do 3 cards. And we've got a couple of reversals, and that's okay. All right, the first reversal here is the Moon card. So let me turn it upright for you. So there's this woman who's in water. Remember, the moon and water makes sense. And she's starting on a journey. She's kind of going through some shadow stuff. So what I mean by that is this Moon card really represents how we kind of work through the parts of ourselves that we don't really like that much. It is reversed, and to me this week, this card is talking about how there might be some times where on an internal level, like a subconscious level, you're going to be working through some of this stuff that gets brought up. So pay attention to it. Make sure you give yourself some love about it. It's a journey, and we all have to go through it. There's always stuff that most people go through about accepting themselves fully. And so this week, that's an opportunity for you to accept yourself fully. And it is a major arcana card, which means that this is kind of major life mission, essentially, right? The more you can accept yourself fully, the more loving and peaceful your life will be, right? It's kind of that simple. So allow yourself this, I really think that the water is important here. Let yourself take more showers or more baths, or if you have a chance to go into water this week, fantastic, because it's really cleansing and healing. And I think the internal work is going to be, maybe a little challenging at times. But there's all that love with the moon, right? So just remember that. There's a lot of self-love that can go on, and amazing. When you get to their side, it's absolutely amazing. All right, let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. So this one is the King of Cups, and it was reversed. If you look at this man, he's sitting here. He's doing art with these kids. He's creative. It was reversed. So the King of Cups typically talks about leading through love, right? So being compassionate, making compassionate decisions. Self-care is a huge practice, and it's reversed. And this is just talking about how we think about that, how we're planning that, how we're making plans to do that this week. How do we get creative? How do we show love to others? And so to me, it feels like this week you're going to be thinking about that a lot and kind of working on a plan of how to do it. How can we become this guy who is creating with these kids, who is showing all this compassion and love and kind of leading that way? So we're going to work on a plan, which is great. And you know what? If we think about the progression of the cards so far, here we're going to really work on working through some of the acceptance of the parts we don't like about ourselves. And then we're going to make a plan of how we're going to show up to lead through love, which is awesome. And this is also about trusting your intuition. So how do we do that every day? Well, we have to learn how to trust it. You have to practice it. So that's what that's all about. Then we've got the Three of Swords. And this card is really talking about heartbreak and upset. And, but look here. Look at all these little fairies that we have. We've got some fae. They're giving a lot of compassion. So if there's something that happens this week that is kind of devastating or feels really yucky, remember all the spiritual help that you have. And remember how we can lead through compassion. We can get through the shadow parts of ourselves with love. And we can get through this. So because this card is kind of ending us on a difficult note, I would like to pull another card from another deck. And let's just find out what it is we can do about feeling so heartbroken. What is it? What can we do about feeling so heartbroken this week and so upset? What is it that we can do? Okay, we'll go ahead and cut that. So this card is really talking about celebrations and kind of arriving to the celebration. This deck is called Before Tarot, which is talking about the moments right before in the traditional scenes. And so right before we get there, right? What's going on in a celebration? And so, maybe it's talking about our abundance, remembering the good times, and that everything's going to be okay because it's all about celebrating, right? Okay, well, I hope that makes sense to you. And let's go ahead and find out from this deck what we can focus on this week. What can we focus on? Because ultimately we want to have a good week. So what can we focus on? This is confidence is your key to success. So even through some of this hardship here, right, we're going to be focusing on our shadow side and healing it a little bit. We're going to be kind of planning on how we can be compassionate with ourselves and trust our intuition, dealing with a little bit of heartbreak with maybe some celebrations that are coming up. But remember, being confident and strong. Remember, look at this lion. He's so strong. And Leo is so strong. So try to find that confidence that you've got. You've got it. I know you do. So that's going to be really important this week. Let's find out from the angels what they want you to know. Angels, what will help this week? Let's go ahead and ask it that way. What will help the Citrine group this week? Okay. We've got joy. So really trying to find that joy that you have. And, joy, this could be a choice. We have to choose joy, and choosing it on a regular basis. It says joy is the highest energy of all. It's the magical sense that everything is possible. Joy springs from appreciating the gifts within each moment. Joy allows you to attract and create your present and future moments at their highest possible levels. So the more joyful you can be right now, in this moment, the more joy you will bring into your life. So that's kind of the first tenets of manifesting, right? The more abundant you feel right now, the more abundance you will bring into your life. The more joy you will feel right now, the more joy you will bring into your life. So I think that's a really good message, right? It's a really good thing from the angels to remind us. Thank you, angels. That's really good, especially with feeling kind of this heartbreak about some celebrations coming up. And where my gut's taking me is that my guess is we had to cancel some things. There's some things that got canceled because of the virus and everything that's going on in the world right now, and that just feels kind of a bummer. And so we're going to look for joy, though, and we're going to remind ourselves of our confidence, and that's going to get us really far. All right, let's find out what the animal spirits want to tell us. What do the animal spirits want to tell us about your week? What is it that you need to know? Ooh, we've got cow spirit. I love this card. I'm a Taurus, so I tend to really like the cow spirit. Okay, it says the miracles are endless. So the abundance, the miracles. Just expect miracles. That is the way to go. Expect miracles. And if you want to read more about this, I've got a great book recommendation. Check out The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. Hopefully you've read it. If you haven't, check it out because miracles are endless. We can expect them at every turn. And this beautiful cow with its beautiful flowers is just reminding us of that. The miracles are always there. And so it's okay. It's okay. I know that this feels so heartbreaking. We had to cancel some plans, but it is okay. We're going to find that joy in every moment. It's going to work itself out. And then lastly, Citrine is really important to know that it really is going to relate to your solar plexus chakra. And the solar plexus chakra is kind of where we keep our emotions, our identity, our intuition, all that stuff. And, maybe spend some time eating some yellow foods, so yellow peppers, some bananas. I'm sure the list is endless with yellow foods. And just kind of give yourself some love and compassion when it comes to your solar plexus. All right, you know what? I almost forgot. I like to finish with one more card from this deck so that we know what we can focus on to bring in some self-love. So what about you do you love? What can you do? Oops. That's our card, but I got to get it off the ground. Oh, of course, it's the self-love card. It says you realize that love of self is necessary to love another. That's pretty good. So focus on your self-love. Focus on that self-love. Expect miracles. And it's okay that we have to cancel stuff. I know it's not ideal, but it will work out. I have every faith that it will. So I hope you liked this reading. Please let me know if you have any thoughts. I'd love to know if it resonated and how it played out this week. Please comment below, like the video, of course, and subscribe. That'd be amazing. We've got lots of videos coming up. And follow me on Instagram. I do daily readings, and I'd love to see you over there. Okay, hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.